Hello.
Hey.
Welcome to the Vergecast.
Hello.
How's it going? How's everyone? So Emily's here.
100 countries around the world.
Worldwide!
Always on.
Except for that half hour.
Hello.
Shout out to Rome. Shout out to Surrey. Shout out to Bristol.
No, you can't just say English places. You have to say random. You have
Shout out to my parents in New Zealand.
Oklahoma reppin'!
Wisconsin.
All right. So this is our show. It's
I'm awake.
that's good. Emily's had she was real down. She literally switched headphones off of Beats One and onto her Vergecast headphones, and then started screaming in a British accent.
Yeah.
So this is the Vergecast. It is July 1, which I was informed earlier today is the current date. I'm here. Dieter's here.
Hi.
Emily, I think you've heard.
I'm present.
Shout out to Bristol. And then in the hype seat, celebrating our nation's independence, Nicola Fumo from
Hi.
Racked. How's it going?
Yeah.
I'm kind of tired.
But
it's gonna be
Just
okay.
do some shout outs and station IDs.
I was
really
thinking
amps
about
you
doing
up.
jumping jacks or some kind of something to get my blood pumping, but I neglected to do that.
Here, just do this. Do me this one favor.
Okay.
Just scream the word worldwide as loud as you can.
I don't think I'm going to do that.
Do it.
I think if Apple is going to try to do worldwide monoculture radio, I think what we can accomplish on this podcast right now is that at this moment, everybody who's listening to it is going to scream the word worldwide.
We can do it all together.
You want to do it on three?
Yeah. Wait, are you
So
going to
it'd
trick
be
me
one?
though?
No, I'm not going to trick you. It'd be 1, 2, 3 worldwide. Ready?
Okay,
One.
but I'm going to pause and wait for everyone else to do it because I know I'm going to be tricked.
Why don't you want to
No, this is a place of trust. Ready?
Is
Ready?
it?
You ready? Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3. Worldwide! See? People randomly,
The thing
people in
is,
their cars are
that's
just
not-
screaming this all over the place.
That's not going to be the last time that I say that word during this podcast.
No.
Just a fair warning.
I think there's a real chance the hype seat is located wherever Emily is screaming worldwide. So it's a Vergecast. It's obviously we're recording a day early, short week, holiday coming at the end of the week. But there's really one thing that happened this week that is big news, and we're just going to talk about it for a while. And then I know Nicola has some ideas about Magic Mike that she'd like to discuss.
I thought you were going to say it was Magic Mike.
Oh yeah, no, it should just be. We're not going to talk about Apple Music. We're just doing an hour of Magic Mike.
Speaking of
Yeah.
music, Luxury Singleton has just posted an exclusive scoop that Facebook is talking to music labels.
Everyone with the same bad idea. How about this business that looks terrible? Let's get into it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Apple Music launched. I will say yesterday was it was just a weird day. The world listened to the radio together. It was the 30s or something.
It was great.
Yeah. You need to get closer to this microphone.
It was great. I don't know. I feel like I think the thing we can get into more of the nitty gritty about Beats One.
Yeah.
But I thought it was. I think it's sort of funny when people are like, why would I hashtag a tweet to request a song when I can just look it up on Apple Music if I want to hear it. It's like that kind of takes away from the effervescence of what radio is.
It's participatory.
Yeah, and it's like the appeal of requesting a song on they have one request show, but I think Ebro is also doing requests too, kind of informally. The appeal of that is not, I want to hear the song and this is the only way I can hear it. It's like you want to kind of put your stamp out in the world in some way or another just by requesting a song that you like. And I think that there's still a lot of appeal to that. I think there's more appeal to that now that everything's so segmented in the way that we listen to music. So
Right.
It was really interesting. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect listening experience by any means, but I think it was cool.
Well, we had a moment. So there's many pieces of this for us to cover, right? There's a new app and a new service but then there was also this radio station is going to start for the first time, which is a strange occurrence. It doesn't happen a lot.
Well,
and so we set up this.
It happens all the time.
What do you mean?
Giant radio stations get launched all the time.
No, I don't think that happens all the time.
Oh, yeah.
They switch over. They switch
over.
formats.
They get bought. They
Right.
switch formats. They relaunch.
Mm-hmm.
But they're never for the first. I can think of 4 or 5 radio stations in Chicago that did all that, but it was always there was always a lot of continuity, right? It wasn't like the radio station didn't exist and then they like literally flipped it on and they were like excited to like have it.
Right. I guess like my formative like musical experience was a radio station launching in the Twin Cities.
Weird.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that?
It was Rev 105.
Okay.
And then they got shut down because they got bought by Clear Channel.
Yeah, that's what happened.
And then like 15 years later, the current like took the people that used to run Rev 105 and brought them over to public radio and launched a music station again. And it was a big deal.
Wow.
But anyway, Rev 105 was a huge deal in the Twin Cities.
Yeah, mine was Q101, which like was the biggest deal in Chicago, and then it was shut down. They turned it into a talk radio station, and then now it's on like 91 something in Chicago. They just moved it,
Right.
but I don't know. Anyway, none of it. Like I just think it was like a moment. Like we set up a speaker, we were all listening to it. They were playing Brian Eno for a long time. I got a lot of notes from other people who work at our company who don't work at the Verge, being like, "Why are you just playing tones at us?" And then I literally once they started with a lot of yelling from Zane Lowe and then like rock music, and I just got a note from one of our product managers, actually Rack's product manager Elliot, who was like, literally all it said is, "What is your strategy here right now?" And I was like, "We're just listening to this Apple thing." And he's
Cold.
like, he
Wait,
was like,
asking
"Fine."
us about our strategy?
No, he was because it was just his because he was just like we were disturbing everybody because you're blasting music in the office,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
At like 9 a.m. or
Yeah.
noon, it was noon at noon, and he was just like, "What is the strategy right now? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you?"
They
just
hate
listening?"
us all while we were. I mean,
No. Then they realized there was a big Apple thing, and then they started reading all of our coverage.
okay.
But like the idea that we were just like blasting like an English DJ and rock
Yeah,
music,
yeah, yeah.
they were like, What's
yeah,
up
and it's
over
not
there?"
even just like playing music. You're playing a guy yelling about music.
He yelled a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of yelling.
But that was like a moment. I thought that's actually of all the Apple Music stuff. Somebody tweeted at me earlier today. That's like, what is with the wall-to-wall Beats One coverage? And that's just the more interesting piece of this.
Well, I mean, Beats One has the potential to be the most important radio station on the planet.
Does
like,
it?
There's other like streaming internet radio stations that are worldwide, 24/7, worldwide.
Yeah.
But not with a giant frickin' huge button and free to everybody that has an iPhone.
There's nothing that's this convenient to listen to that you can have on your mobile device, and now you can have on your desktop. That was the big thing that was annoying yesterday, is you had to listen to it on
A phone.
your phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I think you can still. I haven't even looked for a really long time, but I know that iTunes used to have the thing where you could go through all the different streaming stations, and I used to listen to those a lot. But like, I feel like they've kind of phased that out. But yeah,
They're in the Apple Music app on the phone.
Oh,
If you
really?
scroll down, you get to like alternative and country. So Nicola, have you played with this app?
Yeah,
What do you think?
I did it just for this.
I know you did.
I liked the bubbles, and you can pick what you like.
You like the
what'd
bubbles?
What'd you pick?
Like it was like double tap hip hop and like
Yeah.
one tap R&B, and then it's like, okay, which artists do you like? And then it has the bubbles, the artists. It's like, oh, one tap Future, one tap Nicki Minaj, whatever, and then more and more, and then it made me some playlists,
Yeah.
and I listened to one of them called "Ridin' Shotgun,"
Wow.
which opened with collard greens, which was suitable and to my interests based
Yeah.
on the buttons that I had tapped. And I felt good. It was fun.
Yeah. What was the next one?
Then I listened to Young Jock.
Oh yeah.
But I picked that.
to hype up.
And I was like, oh, this sounds different than Spotify. And I asked Dan, I was like, is this different now? Is this better?
Dan-
Because it sounded much more nuanced.
Really?
My Young Jock song did, yeah.
Is there nuance to that Young Jock song?
I didn't know until today.
All right, fair.
That's interesting because I feel like if there's one part of Apple Music that I have not explored at all, it's just searching for specific songs that I want to hear.
Yeah.
That actually works okay.
Yeah,
it works fine.
I'm fine with it.
So
right now.
actually, on the topic of playlists, two things. One, they kept on saying like intro to so and so. I was like, yeah, I told you that I like so and so. I don't need an intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just want to point out that Lauren Good got recommended a playlist called Mom Jeans.
Yeah. and it says it's like literally the description is like get comfy with these party hits, and none of that makes sense. Like none of those three elements should be together in that way.
Wait, what is it? Is it like? Well, I think of it as like mom's vacuuming music, like feel good '80s, like Carly Simon type stuff.
No, the Furious 7 soundtrack is on
And
there.
the 50 Shades soundtrack, which actually is good.
That's
It's
really
just like
weird.
a really weird.
If this were a Twitter card, I would tell you. Fight Song by Rachel Platten. See You Again, Wiz Khalifa.
That's actually kind of interesting that they're labeling all this mom music because it kind of is.
See You Again falls into every demographic category.
Yeah, See You Again has been like top of the charts, or I don't know if it still is right now, but it's been on forever, which shocks me. It's
a real snoozer.
It's a real down tempo.
Wow. Well, it is kind of
Hype check that song.
Yeah,
quite
hype
low.
check. See You Again.
Quite low.
But also high because everywhere. It's a hype paradox.
Things that many people
Hype
don't
dogs.
like don't make them good things.
But literally, that's hype.
Yeah, but there are things that are everywhere that
Interesting.
aren't hype.
Quantity versus hype quality.
What is your personal hype formula? I think is a question that we're really grilling into right now.
Well, I'd like to think that I'm here as like a hype, like tastemaker, and
Yeah.
not just one to factually call out these things are by the numbers hype, but to call out these things deserve hype based on weight.
It's really overrated versus underrated.
No, I think what Nicola's saying is that she's
But I
more
don't
of
want to be like, I don't want to be like, oh, it's popular, so it's not great. Because some
Right.
things that are popular are great.
You're
but-
more of a qualitative hype checker
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah.
a quant hype.
Yeah. So like,
And I
if
won't be
something's-
swayed by the masses.
Yeah.
like if something's great and everybody loves it, it's properly rated,
Yeah.
and that's fine. That's like
Yeah.
the best place you can be.
Yeah.
If you're overrated, then it's like, yeah, you're not that great. Everybody's gonna find out soon. If you're-
This is like a real hype matrix that you're constructing.
Yeah.
It's like how popular you are versus your overall, your
How much you're
absolute goodness.
appreciated.
Yeah. All right. Someone make us an app that plots that out for us.
What did you think? What's the hype check on Apple pre-liking things for you when you're listening to?
Wait, explain to the listener what you mean, because I actually didn't get what you're talking about until I read this long thing that you read about it that we haven't published yet. But explain what you mean.
Yeah, so a lot of times on Beats One, so when a song comes up on Beats One, sometimes, not all the time, it's not really, I can't really understand why it's available sometimes and not, but you can click on the song and get like add to my music or favorite it or whatever. And there's like a little red heart, just the same as any other social media thing. And most of the time that's not filled in. You can click the heart if you like the song, but some of them come pre-liked for you. I think Ross Miller had this experience with Where Are You Now, a Justin Bieber song.
Wow.
Which
That's a bold pre-like.
Can you
a
see
great
a list of
song.
all the likes and so you can figure out what was pre-liked for you?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the other thing is I don't know where this stuff goes. Unless I add it to my music, I don't know what happens to a like. If that just informs like what happens to my recommended playlist and stuff like that. I mean, I guess that's probably it. But it just is like it's like a thumbs up on Pandora or whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, so did we put up this post today yet, Teeter?
No, I think we're going to put it up tomorrow. You can talk about it if you want to.
I'm going to ruin this post.
That's fine.
So Nicola, I'm gonna ask you a series of questions.
Okay.
But I'll set them up. So in Apple Music now, there are two independent rating systems.
Okay.
There's like 5, the stars in iTunes, those are still there, but they've added hearts.
Okay.
So now you can give something like 2 stars and a heart. Which it's mind blowing. Like I don't understand it. Like I understand it, and there's a very pedantic reason
Is this
why
like
you might want to do it.
emotional versus
So
like
I-
emotional?
I don't
Okay.
want to tell
We're
her.
going- we're
We
going-
ruined it.
logical.
We ruined this joke for like an hour and a half because we told people the reason our
Okay,
stat
okay,
why.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not telling you
Okay.
why. I'm just saying.
Don't tweet at us right now because we
I
do know what the answer is. Please.
I'm aware of why there are stars and hearts. But I'm just saying, can you imagine a world in which you give something 1 star and a heart? And what song would that be?
Oh my God. I mean, almost everything I listen to is like,
A
I'm
1-star
embarrassed
heart.
Yeah.
to admit it. Like
Yeah.
I love, like, God. Right now.
Well, but just so everybody knows, Nicola is now physically embarrassed. She's like blushing. It looks like she's a little teary.
What song is in your heart right now? Just tell
what
us.
caused
I'm thinking
this
about
reaction?
this. I'm thinking about a particular playlist I made this week
Yeah.
that has like a lot of jams on there that are like what I listen to when I'm alone at home
Mom Jean songs.
on repeat.
Did you get comfy?
No, it's like The Dream, like just lots of like The Dream, like The Dream, very loud and repeated.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Dream's good.
I feel
love The
okay about The
Dream.
Dream. There's like this old Candy track, like the woman who's on Real
Wait,
Housewives of Atlanta.
That candy?
Yeah.
Candybrus.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
One of those. I mean, no, there's definitely music where you're like, I don't want anyone to know that I love this.
Wait, so
No, this is
so One
literally-
Star Heart, by the way, which I believe should be the name of my Tumblr and young adult novel series.
And Next Band.
Right, One Star Heart. It's like good, right? Okay, so what is it? And when we're saying that's music that you love but you're embarrassed by, and you literally, in thinking of that concept, had a physical reaction of embarrassment and shame, which was amazing. What's a 2-star heart?
Wait, so you're like, this is good, but I only feel this much about it.
2 out of 5 though. So
Yeah.
It's 2
so
out
you're
of
like,
5.
this
So you give it
is
2 out of
okay.
5 stars and a
fine.
heart.
I feel like Iggy Azalea, anything pretty much. You're like, this is fine.
No hearts.
But why would you heart? Why would you heart that?
Because sometimes you get emotional and you have to listen to Iggy Azalea in your house.
right.
Iggy season, there are times.
If there's any situation where Apple Music is like randomly just throwing Iggy Azalea songs at me, I've failed.
Listen, 3 months ago, I would have been you, and things have changed. Ariana Grande, same thing. Something turned the corner
Sure.
with me. I don't know what happened.
Sure.
Okay, well, let's go to the other end. So 4 stars, no heart.
Oh, like this is technically good, but I
don't
have
wanna
no
listen to
feelings
it.
for it.
Yeah. I
Like-
guess.
It's like any like Donald Fagen record.
I'm trying to think of something.
It's rough.
It's mostly most of my favorite artists, to be honest. Like, I don't want to hear them all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I would do that for Bjork. Like, I love Bjork. She's one of my all-time favorites, but I don't want to listen to Bjork. Like,
That's a
9
good
times out of
example, I
10.
think.
Like,
But it's like you know what the heart means. Once you know what the heart means, it changes the whole game.
the heart.
Well, I'm just going by. I'm assuming the heart is stuff that you feel like you feel for.
I think that's what most people
and the
react to
star
the
is
heart.
for stuff that you're like, this is technically good.
Okay,
this is proficient.
what's a 5-star heart?
5-star, 1 heart?
You only get 1 heart.
Hearts on or off.
Oh, so then you're just saving it. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
I thought
it's either
you
you-
had 5. I thought it was like
Don't try and
you
game
could
the
rate
system. Just
the
tell us what your
hearts.
feelings are.
I mean,
Yeah, see, everyone thinks they know what the heart's for.
I think it's to save it for later.
No, but it's a good, it's a good guess.
I think it's like, this is 5 stars, and let me make sure it's bookmarked.
yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
close. It tells the streaming service what to like put into the algorithm.
Yeah.
It says, give me more like this.
Yeah. But I just
Like
think
in
a world.
Pandora.
I think a world in which you can rate anything with 3 stars and a heart is like crazy. That's like you're
kinda love
medium,
it.
but I love you.
That's a hype matrix of its own.
That's
No,
just
that's
just like a
great.
really average college relationship.
What you want to.
It's like the one you don't remember. It's like the one that didn't matter to you a lot because you have the one in college that like breaks you, but then you have the one just before it that's like, you know what? I learned about how to like split a check at dinner with you, and that was really, really fun memories there. Like, moving
Wow.
on to this disaster.
Your fond college memories
No, I'm
are
saying
way
that-
more boring than mine.
No, that's a 3-star heart. It's like I fondly remember you and this time together, and what we fucking drifted. Like I don't know. The next one, that was a wreck. That one made me who I am today.
1 star and heart, or 5 stars and heart.
3-star heart.
3-star
There's
heart.
a really big difference between what you want to listen to and what you like, though.
Right.
Like there is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the bulk of my using these streaming music services is workout music, and it's the worst music.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's what I want to listen to when I'm running. It's like, and that's why when I'm going through doing the bubble thing, when you're giving it your taste, I'm like, well, I should probably click on Zed. And I don't like that. Like it's not me that I'm
Right.
defining
there. I am defining an experience I want to have. And
Well,
you have
because there
to
are a couple
separate
of
the
different
two.
views when you're listening to music.
Yeah.
You don't always have the same taste. Kind of like you
Yeah.
don't always want to eat the same things. Like
Yeah.
that would be weird.
Yeah. But if you that one of the most defining questions of like who are you is like what is your favorite food? And that's like
No, it's not.
huh?
No, it's not.
It's like in
If
like
you're
in the
12.
most
The only-
no, in like a really like basic fundamental like get to know you way.
I'll tell
right?
you what the real decider is
Okay.
whether or not you have a favorite food or not. Because
That's
I know a lot
major.
of people who don't. They're like, oh, I don't know, and I'm like, okay, that's a red flag.
I have
Yeah.
like a top 3:
What are your top 3?
steak, yams, and champagne.
That's like you just have a good meal.
Yeah, definitely together.
Nicola, your top 3 foods are just like a great Saturday.
Also, chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, no, like,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
just a nice night out. That's like
Yeah.
like, there's
Solid.
a
I
secret.
I like what I like in school.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, did you think the app was messy when you used it?
I was a lot more. It was asking a lot more of me than I anticipated. So I opened it up. I was like, all right, cool, let's do this, whatever. And then I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be here for a minute, setting this up.
Yeah.
There is a lot is a lot to click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three dot menus.
Everything's hidden. Everything is
menus
a
hidden everywhere.
sheet that rolls up.
Yeah, I was so I remembered that there was the curator thing on it. Like they have these lists that are curated by, like Pitchfork and Rolling Stone and stuff like that. And I remember that was there, and it took me several minutes to remember where it was, like what tab it was under, how far I had to scroll down, and all that. Like it was under a couple of different sub menus to find that list. It's like. Yeah, that's...
And those sub-menus are going to end up moving.
You know what button I really want is when you go into your music and you because I think we are now in a national moment where everyone is rediscovering their iTunes library.
Yep. We're going to have a story about that.
Yeah, because I have a
tomorrow.
bunch of weird stuff on here from when I used iTunes however long ago.
Yeah.
Like-
What's
like,
the weirdest track you have in there?
I'm looking right now.
Mine is a bunch of 2007 era DJ mixes, and they're just all terrible, and I don't want them anymore. But there they are.
Man, I'm trying to decide how much I'm going to reveal about myself.
You've already revealed.
No, you're
quite a
revealing
bit.
stuff about your 2011 self, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
What was your favorite fruit in 2011?
Ooh, probably I loved gyros. Like a big gyro moment
Super
for me.
big upgrade. Like steak, yams, and champagne. 4 years ago, those straight euros out of a cart. By
Yeah.
the way, Emily and Nicola are now both just
I'm just
scrolling
looking
in
through.
horror through
I'm
their
just
iTunes
trying to
libraries.
figure out where my music that I added from Beats is.
It's hard.
Like I can't
easy.
figure it out for the trending searches. Okay, Big Bang. I'm gonna try to get.
Well, so everybody's listened to this show has heard me complain endlessly about how confusing Spotify's interface is, and this one is just as confusing in a different set of ways.
Right.
Right? Like you have all of these files on your phone that you were once able to sort very easily by artist, song, album, and those are the primary organizations of the entire app. And now the primary organization are these tabs
Of stuff that Apple wants to show you.
Right, and there's
Right.
some weird stuff in there because remember, every time Apple gets you to play a song, somebody gets paid.
Right.
I paid for Ain't Too Proud to Beg, I'm finding.
There you go.
Why did I pay for that?
Because
This is really weird.
I have
Why did I need it with me?
everyone's just reacting to iTunes right now in
I
different ways.
I just can't. I just added a song, and now I don't know where it exists. The only way I can find it is if I search for it.
But it's not. It doesn't go into your library. It doesn't go into your
it's
My
not
Music.
in my music.
It should be.
It will be.
No.
There's been some people running into that.
The one button that I really want. So anyway, I have all these half completed albums in my old iTunes.
Oh yeah, complete all my albums.
Yeah, just
I want that
finish
real bad.
finish everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just not there. It's why wouldn't you just be able to do that for me?
Yeah.
That's the main thing that it should be able to do.
Really?
Way back in time, you used to be able to. You could go to iTunes and it this is 2010. You could be finish my albums. It would cost you, $200 to upsample all the songs that we know are crappy that we have better versions of, and complete the albums that you have that are uncompleted.
Right.
So I did that a long time ago. Long time
Wasn't
ago.
that the first iteration of?
Yeah, it was way back in the day.
No, but it's just all these things where the link between what you already have and what Apple can provide to you doesn't exist. And that's I think that's the primary failing here because Spotify doesn't have files. It doesn't have your old collection. It can kind of import it, but it's always in a weird little other zone that sucks.
Yep.
It's just it's a different kind of mess. It's still a huge mess.
So I have, since I can't actually talk about music the way you folks can, because I'm bad. And
What's your favorite Young Jock song?
Yeah, see, exactly. don't make me feel stupid, Nilay. I'm gonna say
Trust
two.
me, there's no right
I'm gonna
or
say
wrong
two
answer to that question.
super nerdy things,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then we can move on. I have two sick burns about the interface. One is that slide up menu reminds me of the BlackBerry menu.
Yeah.
And then two, and this isn't really a burn because I kind of like it, is that the whole thing reminds me of the Zune music interface on Windows when it first launched, where there was just stuff everywhere and bubbles and squares and colors and artists, and you don't know where you are. That's how I feel often in this.
That Zune interface is really bad. I don't think anybody remembers this. The Zune did.
I think I saw someone with a Zune on the subway the other day.
Nicola, I own a Joy Division Zune. It is the most
I'm not talking about the
wonderful
Zune
and
interface, I'm
embarrassing
talking
thing
about
that I own.
the Windows music interface that you use
Yeah.
to sync to the Zune.
Yeah. That app tried to do everything all the time.
Right.
But yes, I own a Zune. Every now and again, I pull it out. It's in its box in my house, and once a year, I clean my office and I gaze at it, and then I put it away.
From
Did you say you bought a
2002?
Zune?
I have a. God, it's so
Or
embarrassing.
bought a Zune.
I have a Joy Division Unknown Pleasures Zune.
Oh my god. I don't
Why
even know what
have
that
you
means.
kept it?
Why
have you
wouldn't
kept
Because
you
it's
keep
so
it?
weird. It's such a weird
It's
object.
a really, really weird artifact.
Man, I remember
Yeah.
the Christmas of iPods, the
It's
first
like-
one,
yeah.
and we all got iPods, and my best friend got a Zune, and it just was
Oh, that's the
like
worst.
a living cringe. It was terrible.
A living cringe.
She was just so like cast to the side. Like probably when we walked on the street, like she was probably on the edge.
That's the worst.
Didn't Zunes have? It had basically airdrop though. You could send songs.
Oh yeah, it was
between-
called squirting.
It was called
Squirting.
like a room full of people were like, "What should we call this function on our device?" Squirting.
Yeah.
That's what we want to go with. Nobody's gonna find any way to make a joke out
Oh
of that.
man, let me squirt this young jockey. It's just the worst. It was all real bad. Oh my god, people are just explaining the hearts things to me. I get it.
I told you not to.
Oh, that someone just said, I don't know what this means, but this is the world we live in now. The DJ controls heartability on Beats One. So I think the DJs are pre-hearting shit.
That's the
for
thing.
you.
On Beats One, you can't heart or save all the music. They are playing songs on Beats One that aren't part of the Apple Music corpus, and so you can't listen to them. You can't hit the button to save them.
Some of that is like, so they keep playing this song by this grime artist Skepta, and that one you can't ever, at least a couple times I saw it on there, you can't add it. You can't do anything when that's playing, but it exists in Apple Music. You can look it up. It just doesn't let you from there. But then like Julie, the London DJ, she plays a bunch of stuff that's just not on Apple Music.
Yeah.
Which I actually like a lot.
Yeah.
Which is, and that also to me is kind of a showing of goodwill or like good faith
Yeah.
or whatever, because it's like not just stuff that's here so that you continue to use this service. Like she actually is just playing stuff she likes.
Right, and that's in a weird balance because I listened to Beats One a bunch yesterday, and what's really strange is when they're like, just press the button on your iPhone to like look at more songs, or like, thanks for downloading our app, and it's like, this is not a radio. It's not a media crossover. Like regular radio people, I guess they say don't hit that dial.
Yeah.
Like, right, like there's like little stuff that is now cliche, but the idea of like just open the third interface and press the 3-dot button to save this song to your library is like not don't turn that dial like that. You know, it's not. It's just very confusing.
Yeah, it's because they know a certain percentage of your experience while you're listening to that music. They know that you have an iPhone next to you, and that's enough for them to like be able to give you instruction, like very specific instruction or call to action or whatever.
Yeah, it's and like in really direct ways. I don't think they've even they haven't really gotten deep into what they could be able to do with that.
Yeah.
Can you play this in a car?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Well, it would stream. It would just use your data.
Yeah.
There's actually a little bit of like a
could you,
controversy about the data right now.
Yeah, there's a hassle with
Could
the
you
data.
play it out of your car's speakers though?
Yeah,
If you have
and
Bluetooth.
or a cable. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like playing songs off your thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I listened to I thought the most interesting experience I had with it was listening to it while walking around New York streaming.
Yeah.
That's weird because it's like, yeah, I remember having a radio Walkman when I was a kid that I would use sometimes, but like I haven't listened to something live on headphones while walking around an environment for ages, and that was a very strange
Oh,
feeling.
that is weird.
Yeah. And I was like, kind of like, I was looking around. I was like, oh, is anybody else? Do you think anybody else is listening to Beats Radio right now? I could see. I was like, really weird. Yeah.
And then suddenly, off in distance, someone just screamed, "Worldwide!" And you're like, "You're my guy."
Yeah, that's my guy.
You. You're like 24/7. Zane heads. Yeah, but you know what's strange about that is whenever we take trips and I rent cars, I always listen. I never plug in my phone.
Yeah, no.
I always
To
listen to
me, the
local
car
radio.
and radio are like synonymous.
But it's weird. Like even if you just from here, like you just drive upstate, like the nature of all the radio station completely changes. Like New York City doesn't have like a banging country music scene.
Oh, that's like the majority of what I listen to up there. Yeah.
Right, but you like drive away and
Yeah.
like Z100 like literally fades out and like a top 40 station fades in and then like country stations fill it. It's a very like regional thing that happens, and Beats One is just like like you're in Tokyo. You're listening to the exact same thing as and that's wild. Zane Lowe talked about it a lot. Like it was like blowing his mind as he was running the station. He's
Even
like,
though like BBC radio is the closest thing to that there's been. It shouldn't blow his mind that much.
Right.
But
This doesn't blow my mind at all.
Right.
Oh, high
High
tech.
tech zero. Why does it blow your mind at all?
No.
The running joke has been like millennials react to radio is like a hilarious concept, right?
I mean, because we already all can do the same thing at the same time, no matter where we are. So that element has nothing. That's like, sure.
Yeah, that element adds
Like
nothing.
live streaming things also just sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like musical Twitter, right? Like it's just, but Twitter is even that is personalized. I don't know. I don't think that there are that many experiences where we're doing
All the same thing at the same time.
the same thing.
Look, didn't we all watch
Experiencing the exact same
didn't we
thing at the
all
same
watch
time.
the llamas escape together around the world? Like, there are these moments
There's
where,
like
you know.
news. I mean, anyone
That's
who's
why
listening to
people,
this,
like-
it doesn't matter where they are. We're all here.
Yeah, but
right
a lot
now.
of people listen to this as a podcast later too.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
The
It's-
Super
it's
Bowl.
that
That's
scale.
why the Super Bowl is fun.
Right.
Like I don't really care for a lot of the disparate parts of the Super Bowl, but I like the fact that everybody's watching it. Like I liked American Idol when it was big for
Yeah.
that reason.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys are all very seduced by like the like anticipation and the like togetherness in this world where we're all so pulled apart and then we can like be together in the radio. Like,
What you guys don't know is that Nicola was rolling her eyes through that entire little speech. Go ahead.
so it sounds like you're more interested in that than anything else that's going on. And like the clown DJ dude or whatever.
DJ Clown Dude is the best DJ.
The one who yells
Yeah.
and can't believe it.
But
But you're talking more like you're talking more about that. Like you seem more fixated on that than you seem fixated on
The
what
actual
you're listening
content?
to. Yeah. It's more like
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
more in the vehicle. Like the vehicle of it is what's driving you all nuts
yeah.
with
but
the content.
here are the things, and they're nerdy or boring things, and I suspect why Emily is so interested in it. But the ones that get me are, it is the world's most valuable company, the world's richest company, saying we should have one musical culture around the world, and these are the people who are going to give it to you. One of them is an Australian or New Zealand guy who's in LA. Like it's like weird mishmash of like global influence. Two is that the music they choose, just by definition, is like crazy all over the map. And then three is like, how do you reconcile that with how Apple wants to make money on this thing, which is every time you stream a song, everyone gets paid, right? That's really weird. Like that's really strange to me. And like all those preferential slots, like there's a world in which record labels can like try to get their stuff on Beats One because that means more people will stream it and they'll get more money, or they can jockey for better position in all those playlists because they'll get more money. And that's like really interesting to see how they balance all that. That's like, those are the three that fascinate me.
No, I agree. That is fascinating.
It's not, but it is and isn't. It's also just a radio station, right? And I think those are that's the push and pull of this thing.
I think also to go back to the actual content, the actual music that's being played, and we talked about this a little bit, but like it is kind of interesting to try to figure out what the demographic is, because right now the demographic seems to be internet music person, and that's I feel like that's a growing portion of how people listen to music. It's like, I know Taylor Swift songs, and I also like I'm interested in like UK grime stuff. Like I'll listen to everything because I want to know what's happening right now, which is how I am. And I feel like a lot of like people I consider my peers are, but I have a hard time imagining how big that audience is around the world.
Yeah.
And we were talking about like they repeat the show right now, like the main shows. They broadcast them again, I guess, when the other half of the world is awake, which is sort of not what it seemed like it was going to be at first.
That's not worldwide.
Yeah, it's not worldwide, and it's not like all live. But I mean, I was saying like I would love it if they add, and I feel like this is something they're going to do. Like if they add a DJ in a studio in like Seoul or something,
right.
I'd be really into that, because then you would actually, as the day progressed, you would have the part of the globe that's awake getting music that's more specific to where they are, and the people who stay up late at night, who tend to be people who want to hear other things anyway, like they can get a sampling of some different
But is
stuff.
that local? I mean, that's like
It's like time zone.
Well, one,
local.
how amazing would it be if Apple put like a radio station like right in front of like Samsung's headquarters in South Korea, just like straight up with like the Apple logo spinning and like the weird little antenna things coming off it, being like Apple Radio's here.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
Like not available on your Galaxy phones. I don't know. It's not
will be,
really
though,
the
is
cultural
the thing.
imperialism that I'm going for. But there's something very different about programming a show for locals in a different culture and then programming a show for Americans diving into that. Right. And like, that's like a really hard, that's going to be their hardest thing to do.
I don't even know if they would need it though. Like if they want to be truly international, I feel like you have a much more hungry audience for music that would that actually even buys music and stuff and like Korean pop and stuff like that than you do here. Like there's more of a monoculture there than there is here. So it would be pretty easy to program that.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be as like pulling together all these disparate genres as much.
Okay, I've got to read an ad and then we'll come back. This is the best ad we've ever had. You ready?
Yeah.
There's a cash register sound, and then I say, 20 years ago, James Murphy came up with an idea to change the harsh turnstile beeps of the NYC subway into music. God. He calls it Subway Symphony. Instead of hearing this cacophony of stressful sounding beats, you would hear something pleasant and even calming. And during rush hour, when more people are passing through the turnstiles, the effect would be even more pronounced. For years, his idea just sat there. But more recently, Murphy got together with Heineken. And because Heineken believes in making cities greater, they've teamed up to make Subway Symphony happen. The goal is to generate support to make Subway Symphony a reality. The turnstiles have to make a sound. So why not make it a beautiful sound? If you want to help make Subway Symphony happen, it's really easy. Just use the hashtag Subway Symphony to share your support. Subway Symphony is just the first in a series of legacy projects backed by Heineken. Heineken wants to champion those who have an idea to make their city greater. So be on the lookout for more projects in cities around the country in the future. And watch the documentary of the journey to make Subway Symphony a reality and learn more about the project at subwaysymphony.com. Yeah.
I've got 15 cases of Heineken in my house. My house!
I mean, you have to understand, I've been sitting here with this ad copy in front of me this whole time.
I didn't know that it was
just
that.
Waiting,
That's amazing.
Just waiting for this moment. No, so the thing I was saying is, Emily and I were talking about it like just a little bit ago, where it's like, are they advertising 100 countries just to make me feel cool? Or because they want to be big in 100 country? I keep saying companies. Do they just want to make Americans feel cool that this stuff is on in Stockholm? Is that why he keeps yelling cities? Or does he want to be big in Stockholm?
Well,
can he be big in Stockholm?
I mean, I don't see this as America centric as I think you see it. Like, it seems actually more Euro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, there's so much grime. There's there's a lot of like dance stuff during Juliet Anuga's sets, and I mean the most specifically American stuff is Ebro's stuff because he's just doing a lot of like New York centric hip hop and stuff like that. But I feel like that's, you know, a decent export if we're going to export some kind of music for a New York block. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like it's to flatter American culture or anything. Like, it does seem like it is if anything, it's just flattering like Euro-American culture.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you listen to Beats One at all yesterday? Would you listen to Beats One?
I will
today?
For research, but
yeah, it just didn't interest you. This is the thing. The rest of it is just a streaming app, and it's kind of a messy streaming app. Like, there's no cohesion to it.
No, there's some. There's more cohesion to it than, I don't know, Spotify.
I mean, look, yes and no, right? I mean, it's not the revolutionary thing I thought it was going to be. I'll put it that way. Maybe my expectations are too high.
And
then literally all Connect will show me is like Michael Bublé at a piano.
Oh, I'm ignoring Connect. I do not go.
It's absurd.
Do not venture into that
it's
dark
absurd
Connect.
That you used to be able to customize your tabs at the bottom of music for the stuff you actually wanted, and you can't do that.
You can't because it's how people get paid.
Yeah, I know.
Like, if you sign up for Apple Music, here's what I want to know. If you sign up for Apple Music and just listen to your own music the whole time, does anybody get paid? Does Apple just take the $10? Like, how do they split that up?
I don't know.
So many questions.
So do you think that they like track what I'm listening to, even if I'm not streaming it, it's in my own library, and they pay them that way?
I mean, they have definitely taken stuff I have in my own library and used that to inform the playlist that they send me. Yeah. Like, even though it doesn't really have anything to do with what I clicked on in the bubble stage.
All right, you guys, should I follow One Direction, Pitbull, or Miley Cyrus in Connect?
Pitbull.
Yeah.
There it is.
Dolly.
I'm gonna be so mad when this.
Pitbull is 1 star heart.
All right, and Pitbull is 1 star heart. 1 star. I'm telling you, 1 star heart and 3 star heart are maybe the hardest problems in ratings. Mm-hmm. What is a 3 star heart? Who are you?
Is that okay? Out of 5, so it's something that you.
Like, what do you give 3 stars to? That you would have.
I give 3 stars to like a majority of like mainstream pop music.
Right, but do you have it?
Do I have it?
I always thought the idea of stars in my own personal music library was like strange. Because like, why am I sitting here ranking?
I don't do that.
Like everything. One of my friends in college actually once told me everything in your library is 1 star or 5 stars. Like, why don't you use any of these middle ones? I was like, because these are the tracks and the albums I don't like, and these are the tracks I do like, and literally that's all that matters. Right?
And then that just that helps decide if you put things on shuffle, what comes up.
Yeah, because you could make a smart playlist that was like, just play my 5-star songs.
Maybe I would give Big Sean 3 stars. Heart.
Okay.
Actually, that's a good call.
You know, because he's not changing my life or anyone's.
Hey, well, he just went
except for Ariana.
Yeah, right. He had an Ariana Grande moment.
I know. But yeah, I don't love it. I'm not like, oh, I believe in you. You have such a message and talent, and you're gonna be around forever. But I'm also like, I'll listen to this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna skip it.
Yeah,
it comes on.
I believe in you. Whenever you give somebody 5 stars in iTunes, it sends them a note that says, I believe in you.
Well, Drake is like, I believe in you. Like,
Yeah.
you are saying things. Kendrick, you're saying things. Big Sean, you're there.
Do you
Yeah.
believe
there.
it? Do you believe in Taylor Swift?
I think we've been through this.
Okay.
Oh, we got to
Wait.
talk about Taylor Swift again.
Great
though.
Taylor Swift. This is our new hype check system. It's hearts and stars for you. Hype check Taylor Swift.
I'm not a fan. She evokes something in me.
So is that
Okay.
low stars or no heart?
No heart.
There's nothing there.
No star, no heart.
The only time that I willingly listened to Taylor Swift is when I was in a 4-year-old's bedroom playing Barbie dolls, and it was that or the Frozen soundtrack. And I was like, fine, 1989, let's do this. There's no way we're listening to the Frozen soundtrack. And then she got up and she put on the Frozen soundtrack, and I was like, fine.
Yeah.
Even you don't want to listen to this.
No, that's fair. All right, I want you guys to talk about Magic Mike. We need to do that, and then we need to read another thing, and then we need to wrap up.
Oh yeah. Wait, did you see Magic Mike XXL?
No.
Oh, I thought you saw it.
No.
Oh.
She's just prodding you into talking about it.
No, I want to talk about, because on Rack this week we had a video about Magic Mike, and I thought it was just going to be like, history of like shirtless men in film, or like objectifying men in film, and I thought it was going to just be like totally smut, and then I didn't work on it at all, but it ended up being really smart, and they talked about the female gaze and like when men try to like assume what the female gaze is, and like showing these like beefcake dudes that are like oily or whatever.
Can you just quickly go through the concept of gaze? Actually, you're the film school.
Real quick.
Oh, it's just the point of view, like socio/economic, I guess, point of view of where the film is coming from. So like most film up until semi-recently has mostly been from the male gaze. Just the way that characters are written, the way that like how much time characters get, what characters are worried about. Like that's, yeah.
Right. Because the writer and the director and the cinematographer are all dudes.
Usually dudes.
Anyway, carry on.
I saw Dope last weekend.
Yeah.
And the scene with Chanel Iman, the like Mother May I scene, I don't know if you've seen it, was fully just like, no woman would ever behave like this. And like, this is clearly written by a man who did not consult, like, but also like, I get it's supposed to be kind of fantastical. It's not like
Right.
an accurate representation of youths.
I do not understand the Dope trailer at all. Like, in terms of setting expectations for a movie that is not grounded in reality, the trailer that it's basically just like old video game trailers
Yeah.
is very confusing.
B- from me, but that's not what we're
Wait,
talking
stars
about.
and hearts on Dope.
3 stars, maybe a heart.
Wait, that sounds pretty positive then.
Yeah.
B-. It was good. I enjoyed it, but
so
it
Big Sean.
didn't like. Yeah, totally. But it didn't like. It got so much hype. It didn't like blow me. I keep telling my friends it was kind of like if someone like they would like kind of punch you with something, but they wouldn't like knock you out. It wasn't like something they said or did where you're just like, oh, I can't believe that.
It was just a romp.
Yeah.
It was a fun romp.
It was a romp.
Yeah, a
Nothing
fun
wrong
romp.
with a good romp.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway, but it isn't. I guess Magic Mike is a fun romp
Magic
too.
Mike is essentially a romp. It's funny because there are really fun comments on my review of it, which is on the website
Oh my
today.
God. Really good?
I mean, just accusing the first one of being sexist because of how it objectified men. But that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like that's it's cool. It's totally different to objectify men than objectify women. Like it's not the same thing. It's just like how you can't be racist against white people. Like it's just not. The power dynamics that are already very, very well entrenched in our culture make it impossible to do that. Like,
Yeah.
and also like, and this was discussed in the video, like the way that women do that is not the same as the way that men do that, just because it's not as much of a thing. There's not one way to be a dick to a dude. Like,
this idea of like, okay, same formula as like when we objectify women. Let's take his clothes mostly off, make it oily and very lean. Like,
yeah.
So it's like this like creature that emerges where it's like, oh, this is what women are supposed to be lusting for. But it's like, if I saw that person on the street, I wouldn't think twice. I'd be like, oh, I'm kind of scared of you.
If you saw Channing Tatum on the street, you'd be like, I'm kind of scared of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be. I'm not that into Channing Tatum as like.
No, it wouldn't be like, oh, I can't believe it.
Like, let me get up on that.
How oily are you right now? That would be my reaction. I'd be like, do you think he's currently oiled, or does he oil selectively?
Well, so this is actually an idea that Magic Mike XXL deals with.
Tell me.
Okay, so this is not a spoiler, but Matthew McConaughey's character Dallas, who's like the MC of the original club, is not back, and a lot of the
reconnaissance is over.
Yeah, it's pretty much over, I think. But so they're kind of figuring out what to do for this last hurrah show that they're going to do, and a lot of that centers on them tossing out these things that he had kind of made a part of their act, like firemen costumes and cops and like sexy rodeo and stuff like that, and making their own act.
Man, how are you going to burn McConaughey on the way out, though? That's rough. Like,
no.
old man didn't know what he was doing.
Somebody actually says, all right, in reference to him. It's like very winky. But it's like, and the new MC kind of like, pumps up the crowd is Jada Pinkett Smith, which is very interesting to have a woman in that role now, who's like addressing the audience as queens and asking if they want to be exalted by these beautiful men and stuff. I mean, it's pretty different, I would say. Like the first one is, it's much more political, I feel like, than the first one was. The first one was just like, let's hang out with these dudes, and like in kind of a crappy, very warm, underlit version of Florida. And it still feels like that too, because Steven Soderbergh also shot this one, so it looks and feels exactly the same.
What I think is, I was reading a review and that like struck me, because the comp you keep making is to Pitch Perfect 2, and Pitch Perfect to me it's in that tradition of taking something that usually happens in crappy places and making it seem spectacular. Yeah, right. It's like the acapella championships of the world are in this like massive theater with like fire, and it's like that this shit happens in like a Hilton ballroom. It
very much looks like just a convention center. Although Pitch Perfect 2 is weird because its final competition took place in some random like acapella festival in Copenhagen. It looked really, really like kind of low key. But then of course when they actually do the performance, it's all like very glossily shot, and also the voices just sound insane in that, like very processed. So, but it's got good dance routines in it, which is great. I mean, that's like half of what you want. I don't know. It's like, it's almost too slow. It's almost too chill, but I like that as opposed to the Pitch Perfect 2 version of doing things.
I think between the Entourage movie, the Magic Mike movie, and then my personal current hate obsession, which is Ballers, there's a lot of places where you can just like hang out with some chill bros in the media right now.
How chill are they on Ballers though? I feel like they're not that chill, and definitely they're not chill on Entourage.
Yeah, but it's like everything in Ballers is Act 2. Like it's a show that's Act 2, right? It's like the setup is like literally immediately dealt with in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you're just sort of like, now we're gonna experience what it's like to be in this world, and nothing happens beyond that. Yeah, like it's just that, and I think that's actually the problem with virtually every Netflix show. Yeah. Like Netflix shows are just endless Act 1, and you're like, dude, just become fucking Daredevil. Like, do it. Like, do some stuff. Like, I get it.
We're here for Daredevil.
Like, where are you?
We won't have questions if we just get introduced to a superhero. Like, we kind of know what a superhero is. It's okay.
And it's like, that's weird that Netflix like just never takes that opportunity to just like stretch out Act 2. They're always like, Act 1, a little bit of a problem. And now it's Act 3, and now he's the Daredevil. And it's like, but could we just hang out?
He's freaking out over here.
So Ryan Airhold on Twitter just tweeted the most insane thing at us. If you go into the parental restrictions in the general settings of the iPhone,
you can disable
turn
Connect?
off access to Connect, and it gets replaced with a playlist button.
That's the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Wait,
but it's like, yeah.
what?
Parents around the world.
You go into settings, general restrictions, and that's where your parental restrictions are. And then you like
Everyone is doing this right
take
now.
your permission away to access Apple Connect or Music Connect, whatever it's called. And then it just turns into a playlists tab.
That's the best. And that really, every parent in America should be currently looking at their children's phone and taking away Connect.
Yeah.
That's what should
Is
be
that
happening.
just so you can't get content from Miley Cyrus and
Yeah, I
pollute
think
their
so.
minds? That's amazing.
What else do I want to not give
Pollute
myself
their
access
minds.
to?
I mean,
I think I am not going to give
Well,
myself access to
You know,
all kinds
Apple's.
of crazy things.
Hold on. Okay, I gotta. We're like running behind. I
Yeah.
need to read this one, and
All
then
right.
I want everyone to think about the fact that Apple is censoring the music. They're playing the clean versions of songs.
Just ask us after the ad, man. It's cool.
Alright. What is Automatic? Automatic is a connected car adapter that plugs into your car's diagnostic port, the one your mechanic uses. Every car since 1996 has one of these ports. It pairs with your phone, integrates with over 20 apps to give you a better driving experience. Paired with the Automatic iPhone or Android app, Automatic helps you in several ways. If your check engine light comes on, Automatic explains in plain English what's going on and helps you clear the light. If it gives you a log of your trips and parking locations so you never lose your car. It calls emergency services in case of an accident, and it scores you on your driving. It's a little game, driving, so you can save money on gas. You may have seen Automatic just launched a new app store for the car. Over 20 apps are available, allowing you to use your car's data in all kinds of ways, like Concur, the expense program that we actually use here at Vox, lets you pull your trips easily into expense reports. If This Then That gives you the power to build all kinds of recipes based on your driving, which is an insane sentence that I want everyone to consider here in 2015. Dash Command shows you minute levels of details on your engine's performance, and you can see all the rest of them at automatic.com/apps. Automatic is usually $100, but 20% off for Vergecast listeners. Go to automatic.com/Vergecast or use code Vergecast20 at checkout. You get free shipping. There's a 45-day return policy because 1 month just ain't enough. And that is Automatic. Automatic.com/Vergecast. Back out of the zone. So they're playing the clean versions of songs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are they going to censor what the artist put in Connect? And if so,
I
why
think
would
that
they
happens
restrict
on
your
Spotify
parents?
too. If you're listening to the radio, I think it usually plays the clean version.
I find I'm not outraged by them playing the clean versions of songs.
Neither am I.
Like whatever.
Well, some
a
of
bummer.
them just come out like Swiss cheese, though. Like depending on the song. I mean, some
Right.
of it doesn't really affect it that much. But,
but if
yeah.
are they going to censor Connect too? Is like Justin Bieber going to be like doing weird stuff?
But
in
what if you're
Connect?
trying to
I don't
listen to Miguel Coffee and you like just don't want to listen to the version that has the word coffee subbed in for the word that you want to hear? Like that's like, I mean, what if you set the mood with that and then it was like coffee in the morning and you're like,
If you are setting the mood with Beats One, you have fucked up. You are just not. It's not going to happen for you.
well, why?
24/7
sounds super hype.
all around the world. Repping Bristol, repping Long Beach, repping Australia, repping these two getting down. Like it's like you can't do that. Oh man.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I actually feel like the coffee version is more romantic.
It's nice. It's romantic. Yeah.
It's coffee in the morning. That's very cute.
Everyone does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for tea people.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, can I say
feel like-
the F word on this show?
Yeah, we've
You
been doing
just
it
did.
nonstop.
Oh yeah. I don't know why. I have a no profanity impulse in my head because of my old podcast. I can do it. Yeah, fuck you, tea drinkers.
Wait, there's all that buildup for fuck you, tea drinkers?
Wow. I didn't know you felt that strongly.
Wow, that's rough.
No, she did. I was just echoing her. And then,
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. It's just like your little echo chamber of hating tea people. Those are my people.
we got
Are
some
you a
energy going
tea
here.
person?
No, I'm just Indian.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoy from time to time. I'm a coffee person. Aren't we all? Aren't we all in America coffee people?
Wait, can we talk? Wait, I want to talk about something else on having to do with beats.
Did we
can't
did
stop
Vergecast
talking
ever
about
talk
Apple
about Taylor like bending Apple to her will? About
Did you
the
guys talk about that
trap
last
thing?
week?
We did not.
No,
I don't
did
think
not.
we did.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Last week
over
was
it.
the Walton Lauren thing.
Yeah, we did. We like brushed over it.
Right.
With Lauren.
I would say I like have a lot of feelings about it, but I don't anymore.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone's just over it. Like it happened. Like massive corporations. Taylor Swift is a massive corporation, negotiates with other massive corporations.
Yeah, and they do it in public. They fight in public, and we all kind of
Yeah.
cheer and watch.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we were talking today about we're already talking about Verge 50, and it was like, Well, it feels like right now it feels like Taylor Swift should be on that again, even though her album was out last year and she was also on the Verge 50 last year. But I don't know. I feel like I think she needs to. She won't because she's still on tour. She's still promoting this album for like the rest of the year. But I just kind of want her to back off for a second and just let other people talk and make their mark on the music business. Like Drake. Just put Drake out there in his Apple jacket a little more and, I don't know.
Put Drake out there in his Apple. Do you think he's going to wear it on tour?
I hope so.
Okay, so there's one thing that we should talk about before we
Heineken?
end. It's not Heineken, although that's coming again at the end of the show. I want to talk about our comments because something is going to happen to our comments.
Right.
And by the time you come back to the Verge, by the time you listen to this, it might have already happened. And I just want to talk about it because I know Emily has a lot of thoughts about comments, and I have a lot of thoughts about comments.
I do, but
And so does Dieter. I don't know.
it's been a while since I've...
Does Rax have comments?
Yeah.
Do you find them valuable?
I mean,
And then is it not a big
we have
community?
one woman who's like a superstar. We love her.
Yeah.
Shout out Pam B. She doesn't even know. I don't think there's any reason she would ever listen to this, but we know so much about her.
Really?
Because she leaves these like Easter eggs in her comments about where she lives, how old her daughter is, and she leaves like insightful, long, amazing.
Wow.
We love her. She's our mascot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pam like lamb, but it's really Pam B.
Wow. Okay.
Everyone else, I don't know, whatever, it's fine. Hi.
Hi. Hey, commenters. So we also have some superstars, and then we have a lot of other people.
I bet you guys have lots of superstars.
We do have lots.
We do.
We do. And
Yeah.
we love them very much. But here's what we're going to do for a minute. We're going to turn off our comments in July. By default, we can still turn them on,
Yep.
and we'll turn them on in some places, and we'll still have the forums. But I think our comments are like out of control right now.
Ooh, so you're trying to quell the beasts?
Yeah, I've done it before. So when we ran Engadget, we turned off comments, I think twice for weeks at a time. And
How was it?
banned lots of people. It was fun.
Does it really work or when you come back? Is
Yeah.
the vibe different?
Yeah, the vibe is radically different because people know that you can take it away. It's like there's so many things about this that are basically you could map one-to-one to like the things dictators say about their country. Right? You must show the people that you are firmly in control. And it's
Take
like,
away all the grain.
it's like, and then when you give the grain back, they will be grateful to you.
Oh my
and it's like
God.
that's basically in my head what this all sounds like. But yeah, we're a little out of control. We've got a lot of new people. Emily is new, but like 6 months new. But we have actual like very new people first posts on the site. Comment warfare, which is just I think a disaster.
Yep.
So we're gonna turn it down. We're gonna turn down the heat.
Yeah.
And
Kind of cool. Like
Yeah.
an easy summer moment.
Yeah, July. It's a lot of everyone chill out. If you got
Yeah.
something to say, put it in the forums. If you make a really good
Yeah,
forum
we're gonna-
post,
we're
we're
gonna
gonna start
do-
putting those back on the front page.
Yep.
We're just
Yeah.
everyone take a minute.
Yeah.
A
summer
languid.
break.
We're
And-
gonna reorganize the forums a little bit too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
make some new ones and
There's gonna be
merge
And
some
those
old
will still
ones.
be fully active and everything.
Yep.
It's not like nobody's going to be able to write anything of their own on the Verge. I mean, there's so many interesting arguments that come up around comments, and it's really interesting to see what people feel entitled to in their internet experience. By interesting, I mean like head smacking, but but still interesting to learn about. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that it comes down to for me is when we'll inevitably get people on our other social media platforms saying that our skin is too thin and we
Yeah.
can't handle the feedback from our like honest feedback and complaints from our readers. But like, I don't know, we didn't like fall into these positions. Like like you said, I think in another post, like we've been doing this for a while. It's not like there's not really a referendum to be made by the readers on us writing on the site.
Yeah.
So that's not going to change anything. And if you don't like the stuff that we're doing, you are free to read something else. And in the meantime, it does not help us do good work
Right.
to have people yelling at us all the time.
Right. And I think that's actually I've done like this is not a good idea, and I don't think anybody should do this, but I did it. I read through 3 years of Meta Forum comments. Like over the past 3 days. Yeah, Dieter's just signed. Like,
No,
that's rough. That's
yeah.
some like crazy shit. And the complaints are always the same. The complaints are, why is the site growing this way? Why don't you do the thing I want? Like, why don't you have customizable RSS feeds come up a lot? Why can't I program the homepage the way? Like, they're the same. It's a lot of it is like, why do you cover entertainment? Why do you cover rocket launches? Like, it's all about as we expand and do different things. There's a lot of questions, but the tone of our comments has completely changed, and you can literally just like mark the day that it changed. And that is like Gamergate happened. And Gamergate totally amped up the vitriol. It made our entire staff decline to participate because they couldn't. There was just no safe space to get involved with the audience. So we all walked away. It got terrible in there. And now there's no more entry point back into it. Right? And I think everybody, like, it's going to be good for us. We're all just going to chill out, breathe. Summer.
I love this.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Great.
We're going to listen to some Apple Beats One for whenever we need to get turned Zane low, like do the yelling for us.
You're going to let the music pick you, and you're not going to engage with the comments, and it's just going to be like an easy, like fewer choices summer.
Let the music pick you.
Yeah.
And fewer choices summer is great.
Yeah.
Right? Where we just like reject the paradox of endless choice the internet has provided.
You just put as much of your life on autopilot as possible, and then you just enjoy.
Yeah, dude, I knew there was a reason you're on the show today. Just chill out.
Just summer.
Can you do like a
cultural
big
summer.
deep breath sound effect in the microphone right now?
No, seems like it'll get used for something weird.
What? What?
It's very safe.
Why don't you yell or do the things that I command you to do?
Nilay, already weird stuff happening from my first appearance on the Vergecast in my own.
Nicola's a
media
star
channels.
now. We did a Periscope last night, and people were like, "Oh, it's Nicola. When are you coming back on the Vergecast?"
That was really cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was wild. All right.
Yeah, that was cool.
Do we have more to talk about?
I mean, I could get into my deep feelings about the principle of charity, but I think that's not worth it.
I mean, the common thing,
time.
I feel like the people who listen to this show are people who are like commenters on our site, and like it's worth talking about a little bit. But it's gonna happen. I promise you, we'll turn it back on. I promise you, it'll be cool. No
You should
choices.
keep a diary
Fewer choices
until then.
summer.
Keep a diary about how you feel. I
Ooh.
recently gave up talking about a certain subject in my life, and I still just write everything down and just don't talk about it out loud with my friends.
Was that kind of a 3-star, no heart relationship? Because that's what that sounds like to me. His name is Tim.
It's been good.
That's
you
great.
wind up being light, and you have better things to talk about with people.
We're actually doing a video. Plant's working on it right now about how to stop using your phone so much.
Wait, I just learned about JOMO, Joy of Missing Out, and I have it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's something. You should write that for our site.
I think someone wrote it for the New York Times in like 2012.
No. Well.
You know what I had JOMO about? Governor's Ball.
Yeah. Total festival JOMO for sure.
Yeah.
Hype check JOMO quite high.
Yeah.
Because you have to be strong.
Yeah, and you have to be really mature too. And you have to know yourself.
And know yourself.
Know yourself.
Fewer choices, more JOMO. Have a summer. Don't write comments. Get vitamin D from the sun.
Did you say have
Stop
a summer?
eating dairy.
Let's have a summer.
Dude, summer's starting strong in the Vergecast right now.
July 1.
Yeah, it's here.
begins.
Worldwide.
Worldwide!
Worldwide!
1, 2, 3.
Worldwide!
All right, that, for better or worse, was our show
Done.
this week.
We're good. We're good.
All right, I have to do this stuff. Sam isn't here, and you don't know what I'm talking about. So, thank you for listening. Please follow The Verge on Twitter. We're The Real Verge on Snapchat. Like I said, we're doing more and more Periscopes all the time. Look us up there. You can rate and review us. Oh, wait. People. Nicola is Nicola _Fumo, Fumo on Twitter. Dieter is Backlon. I'm Reckless. Emily is Emily Yoshida. I recommend following both Emily and Nicola. I think
following Nicola right now.
they have excellent Twitter experiences to offer you. And here in this summer of fewer choices, just do what I say.
You got a big butt on your Twitter page.
Yeah. I love that.
That is a big old butt on your Twitter page.
I'm going to buy that painting from that girl.
Anyway, summer of fewer choices. Just do it. Just follow them.
Yeah.
Just live a life that they curate for you.
You curate for you. Autopilot.
Yeah.
Pick what you like. Stick to it.
Yeah. Don't
Anyway,
try new things.
More to come.
We should just have you do this like life coach for the Verge audience every morning.
Bring me a Verge and his problems.
A Verge.
And I'll talk like really open.
Oh man. The Verge has so many problems.
I'll talk really open-ended like
you should do. Well, you should
steak.
have an advice column.
Yeah.
You should have an advice column for commenters who are sad about not being able to comment. I'll do it.
We're launching advice columns. We can just do it. We're gonna have we already have 2 in the bag. We should just start up a 3rd.
Oh yeah, I'll do it.
All right. Do you want to do one too? Nicola's
please.
like, no. Nicola literally just looked at a text incoming on her phone as any means of escape. All right, you can rate, review us on iTunes. Please give us 5 stars. I would like to know
And a heart.
Yeah. Well, I want to know, what is your 3-star heart? Go on iTunes. We actually, I didn't mention this anywhere. We are over 1,000 5-star reviews on iTunes. People.
Last
people
time I
seem
was
to
here,
like us.
you were almost there, and now you're there.
We're like way over it now. But yeah, so go on iTunes, give us some love. Emily has a great new podcast called Verge ESP with
Yes, we do.
Liz Lapato. I think you have a new episode coming out next week.
Next week, yes.
So check that out. Chris Plant has his great podcast, What's Tech. There's a rogue podcast happening in the halls of The Verge right now. One of our video producers, Rondo, is just literally walking around with a microphone. You'll see that leaking out here and there. Yeah, that's it. We're itunes.com/The Verge. That's everything's there. And that was Vergecast. I've got to read one more thing about Heineken. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Super.
Look, here's what I want you to do. James Murphy got together with Heineken to make Subway Symphony happen. They're going to make it happen, but they need your support. So how do you make it so the turnstiles in our city make beautiful sounds? Just tweet hashtags Subway Symphony. You can make it happen. And you can go to subwaysymphony.com and demonstrate your support for Heineken, James Murphy, and Subway Symphony. That was Vergecast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Rock and roll.